Hey everybody, this is your regular reminder that it is the academic consensus that the point of the story of Sodom and Gomorrah in Genesis 19 was not to condemn homosexuality or to warn anybody about the consequences of homosexuality. It was to condemn inhospitality, and specifically the rank inhospitality of threatening male outside visitors with sexual assault. And that was considered such an abomination because men were at the top of the social hierarchy of domination, and to force a man into a submissive sexual position was to shame, was to subjugate, was to dominate him. And anciently and even today, in many parts of the world, including Southwest Asia, that is still used as a form of punishment, as a form of shaming, and as a form of domination. And it has nothing to do with sexual attraction or sexual orientation. It is about power, as with all sexual assault. And the same is true of the parallel story in Judges 19. There is no syllable of the Bible that indicates that story was understood otherwise. We can go to Ezekiel 16:49 to see the author say that the sin of Sodom was an overabundance of bread, prosperous ease, and she did not strengthen the hand of the poor and the needy. She was haughty and did abominations before me. And before people try to exploit the semantic range of the word abomination to suggest that we are not precluded from reading homosexuality into that, there are no data that support that reading. The biggest problem with what happened in Genesis 19 was the threat of sexually assaulting male outside visitors. This is not to say that these authors would have supported male same-sex intercourse, but it is to say that that was not the point of this story. And no, Jude 1:7 is not an exception. That is about the sexual compatibility of humans and angels. That's the context of that verse, and that was an ongoing debate at the time, coming downstream from the Enochic literature and the problem of evil that arose from the sexual intercourse between angels and humans. So for the author of Jude 1:7, them seeking out sarkosoteras, other flesh, was trying to cross those boundaries of intercourse that were not intended to be crossed. And that was the problem described in Jude 1:7. So the point of the story of Sodom and Gomorrah in Genesis 19 was not to condemn homosexuality or say these are the consequences of allowing homosexuality. And to deploy the passage that way is to misread, misunderstand, and misuse the Bible solely to support the structuring of power, values, and boundaries in favor of right-wing authoritarian identity politics and over and against the human rights of marginalized and vulnerable groups. And it needs to stop.